possibility of overthrowing capitalism and managing the kind of social change that they're talking about within the timescale that's necessary to solve the problem of climate change, he says. If the world's average temperature rose to 2 degrees Celsius rather than 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, then the global economy would be $100 trillion poorer. Reaching the more ambitious target would require reaching zero CO2 emissions by 2050. That's less than 3 decades to rebuild the energy system that underpins modern civilization, rethink the agricultural system that feeds 8 billion of us, and reinvent the relationship humans have with the planet itself. It cannot be addressed by the same form of uncontrolled capitalism that is partially responsible for the excess greenhouse gases stuck in the atmosphere. At the same time, reforming capitalism might be the only practical way to get to zero emissions so quickly. This book shows why it's possible to harness the forces of capitalism to tackle the climate problem, and how the work has already begun. Let's start at the beginning, somewhere in Africa 200,000 years ago. From there, the newly evolved Homo sapiens slowly spread across the world. Ingenuity helped humans develop ways to grow food, control fire, and use new materials, from wood and stone to bronze and iron. We grew in number, from a few thousand in small tribes to a civilization of hundreds of millions by the 18th century, with the ability to travel en masse, not just over land, but also the oceans. Then we shifted gear. Our ability to harness fossil fuels at scale accelerated progress like nothing before. With access to cheap, abundant, and reliable energy, the human population quickly grew tenfold. On a 10,000-year timeline, the population growth curve follows the shape of an ice hockey stick, a gentle increase followed by an almost vertical rise. Fossil fuels didn't just give us energy, they opened new worlds. Coal powered both trains and electric turbines, bringing modernity. Oil fueled cars, airplanes, and rockets to further shrink the world. Natural gas made the fertilizer needed to feed billions and turn previously inhospitable places into metropolises. Much of this progress was unequal until the 1980s, as global inequality increased between countries during the preceding 2 centuries, mainly because of colonialism. I was born in 1987 in Nashik, a small city near Mumbai. Soon after, India and China opened their economies to global trade. Just as capitalism and fossil fuels had done for rich countries, now they powered growth in 2 of the most populous nations and pulled hundreds of millions out of poverty. My family experienced social mobility in ways that my ancestors could never have imagined. For most of his life, my grandfather, who never studied beyond high school, worked on a factory floor dyeing clothes. My college-educated mother and father launched their own business. As India became richer, incomes grew and opportunities expanded. When my soon-to-be dad flew to Europe on business in 1985, some 20 members of my extended family travelled for 6 hours to the airport to watch him take off. There's a photo of him at the airport with a garland around his neck and a sheepish smile on his face. By the 2000s, my parents had earned enough to build a home for the family and support my sister and me in getting the best education possible. All the while, another hockey stick-like phenomenon was playing out in the background. The concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere was rapidly rising. The last time it had reached such levels was more than 800,000 years ago, when sea levels were as much as 25 meters higher and Homo sapiens had yet to evolve. The unchecked use of fossil fuels, which enables humans to have longer, healthier and wealthier lives, has unleashed climate instabilities that threaten the very fabric of life on Earth. It's possible that entire swaths of the planet will become uninhabitable under business-as-usual scenarios. The ferocity of the climate impact